Code Enforcement Board is now called to order. If everyone would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Hoorah. Ladies and gentlemen. Wait for them. I'll start my spiel after we get her case number.
Phones on silent? Phones on silent.
Mic's on.
Mic's on. Phone on silent.
It's the very first case in the new business.
Okay.
She's just giving him the order.
All right, let's start over again. Ladies and gentlemen, the Municipal Code Enforcement Board is charged with conducting hearings to determine whether an alleged violation of the city code has occurred. Decisions made by this quasi-judicial board will be based on the evidence and facts presented this evening. Our meetings are conducted in accordance with Robert's Rules of Order, and each case will begin with the city presenting its evidence of the alleged violation. The respondent will then present his or her case. Both parties will have an opportunity to cross-examine all witnesses. The board members may question any witness. Comments by both parties must be relevant to the case. Persons wishing to speak will be given an opportunity to do so by the chair and must address the board from the podium after giving their name and address. Upon request, copies of materials submitted by staff are available for review. Board members are reminded to obtain permission to speak from the chair, and questions of the city should be directed to the attorney for the city. This time, I'd like to ask all persons who expect to give testimony tonight to please stand and be sworn in by the city clerk.
Okay, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Thank you. As per our standard operating procedures, we will be taking cases out of order tonight. Let me give you those before we move on. Our first two cases will be under old business. First one will be 23-4652. Second one will be 24-0448. Following that, new business, case number 24-0556. Then case 23-6292, and then we'll finish up the new cases. All right, ex parte communications. This time I'd like to ask any board members that have had any ex parte communications regarding any matters coming before this code enforcement board this evening. If you've had verbal communications, please disclose the sum and substance of those communications, when and where the communications occurred, and with whom it occurred. If you received any written communications, please disclose the nature of the communications and provide a copy to the city clerk to be filed in the record. Starting with you, Juan.
I've got none.
I've had none.
I've had none.
I've had none.
I've had none.
Very good, thank you. Approval of minutes. Presumably everybody's had a chance to review the minutes from April 10th, 2024. If there's no additions, changes, or corrections, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Okay, on to our first case.
First case is case number 23-4652, City versus David J. Calhoun for the property located at 5106 Rolling Hill Court. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight.
Mr. Chairman, board members, Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case was presented back in March to the board and was granted a 2-month extension. Mr. Graham, the contractor for Mr. Calhoun, is here this evening and would like to address the board. Sir, please.
All right.
State your name and address, please.
My name is Graham Keith, and the address that I'm representing in this case is going to be 5106 Rolling Hill Court. So,
Before you get started, you have permission to represent the property?
yes, I do. And he said I can call him if need be, if you guys need for a recorded statement or anything.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, just so you know, we are trying to work in authorizations that'll help with this going forward. We are aware that Mr. Calhoun did authorize him
Okay.
verbally to do so.
Very good.
Let you know, just in the future, we'll have that covered better.
I knew you'd be on it. Floor is yours, sir.
All right, so Mr. Calhoun's actually a longtime family friend of ours. Had no idea he was in the situation that he was in. Met with him during this last meeting. Found out he had a tarp on the roof. The day after, it was March 13th, I believe. March 14th, I met with him. We filed a claim together with his insurance company. 2 weeks after that, insurance came out, did an inspection. The roof has been approved as of last week. We should be receiving a check from the insurance company tomorrow, maybe next week. As soon as we receive the check, takes my company 5 to 10 business days to order materials, and we're installing the roof in 1 day. So essentially, in about 2 weeks, roof's going to be brand new. There's no longer going to be a hole. There will no longer be a need for the tarp. The issue should be resolved in about 2 weeks' time.
Okay. And you have no, there's no supply chain issues with getting materials? Okay. Tom, does the city have a problem with a one additional month extension? No. Okay. Any questions for the respondent? I assume you're here to get another 30-day extension?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why don't you say that?
Why
Why don't you ask me for a 30-day extension?
what we're asking for is that we can have a 30-day extension for this
Perfect,
case.
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So what you have before you is a request for a 30-day extension. If there's no other questions for the respondent, I'll entertain a motion.
All right. Well, I move to extend 30 days.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second? Okay. Why don't you, can you break out your calendar and do a date certain?
Extend 30 days until, what is it, June 12th.
Okay, so we have a motion to extend the case until June 12th. Do we have a second? You seconded, okay. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. Hopefully, we won't see you again, and we'll have it all done. Okay, so you just now received an extension to June 12th.
All right. Thank
Okay.
you guys very much.
You're welcome. Next case, please.
Case is 24-0448, City versus Gregory and Carmen Keith for the property located at 307 Druid Hills Road. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight.
Doug Allen, Co-Compliance Officer. This is the exact same thing that Graham just had, only this time it's his parents' house, and they are hoping to get an extension, 30-day, I assume a 30-day extension, to hopefully get their roof issue resolved, which is unfortunately for them been dragging on a long time.
Okay.
All right.
Just keep the record clean. State your name and address again.
Gotcha. My name is Graham Keith, and in this one, I'm representing 307 Druid Hills Road. Same situation. This one, we filed the claim May 5th of last year. Unfortunately, their insurance company has not been complying with us. Last time we were here, we were told there's going to be a resolution within 30 days, so we had asked for a 60-day extension. Unfortunately, they decided to drop the ball. They're no longer communicating with us. We had to hire an umpire in the situation. We're told it should be resolved within the next month. In this case, we're asking if we could have another 30-day extension, and we'll, that's what we're waiting on.
Okay. Any questions for the respondent?
I have,
Yes.
you're not certain in 1 month is gonna be, we already, there's 60 and now I'm asking of another month. You're not certain they're gonna respond at all, or?
Correct. In this situation, legally, insurance has 90 days to respond. Last time we were here, it was the 60-day mark. Within 60 days, they haven't given us any kind of change in situation at all. So by the end of the 90 days, they have to do something. We're hoping that they're going to, understand, their position, knowing that it's about to be 90 days and respond soon, but we don't know. But they have to do something in 90 days.
Okay. Does the city have any objection to a 30?
A bit hesitant to approve this because this has been going on for quite a period of
Since
time.
May of last year, apparently.
Yes, and even I think even more than that. So my opinion this evening would be, I'll grant it another 30 days, but we gotta come to a situation where it's gotta come to an end. I mean,
Understood.
okay, so that's my,
Okay.
I'll approve 30 days.
Okay.
An option that we can do as well is we can move the tarp back to where it's not visually seen from the road, if that helps. Because basically there's a leak in the master bedroom. That's the whole reason there's a tarp there.
Well, hopefully it doesn't come to that.
Tarp is not the violation. It's the damaged shingles that are the violation. The tarp notifies us as there's moisture going into that structure.
Right.
That's the violation, not the top.
But I think what he's saying is if he can't, at least, he's offering a option that doesn't offend people driving by, I guess.
Right.
So, but I get it, just so you understand that the tarp itself is not the violation.
The damaged shingles aren't visual at all. I mean, you can't, you have no
It
idea.
does- Being visual or not visual is not the point. The point is that there's damaged shingles, and that's the violation. Until those shingles are no longer damaged, there's a violation there.
Interesting, okay.
Okay?
I have a question for Tom. It's a lot of damaged shingles? A lot of,
I don't know how much damage to the shingles, but if you have a tarp on your roof, that indicates that there's moisture going into that structure. That's why the people put a tarp there.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the damage is to the shingles.
do you have any assessment?
Yeah, so there's one little area where a shingle is coming loose over the master bedroom, and it's allowing water to come in. So it's one shingle that's loose. You'd have no idea unless you went up to it and physically picked up the shingle. So visually, there's no sign. The only reason we know it's damaged is because the assessment we did determined that that's where the water is coming in from.
What's the square footage of changing just that area?
100 square feet.
100 square feet, you don't have to get a permit or anything.
Right. I mean, yeah, we could change it, but essentially we're waiting for insurance to pay for this project. Because if not, my mom's coming out of pocket, and unfortunately, in this case, she can't afford to do so, which is why we're going through insurance.
Does it require a complete re-roof?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And that's just based on time and age and per determination.
Ernie?
You said that you've asked for an umpire in this?
The attorney in the matter has, yes.
Okay, and how long does that process take? Because right now, I think you're hoping that the insurance company will sign off within that 90 days.
Right.
But if they don't and you have have to go to an umpire, how long is that process?
I personally don't know. That'd be a question for our attorney, and unfortunately, she's not here tonight. I mean, I could call.
If you have to come back again next week, or next month and request, then I would suggest you have that information for the
Understood.
board if you're going to the umpire process.
Understood.
Any other questions?
I was just gonna say, getting an umpire can take another 60 days-ish. That's what I deal with on a daily basis, so.
All right. So we have a request in front of you for a 30-day extension. If there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do that. In case number 240448, I move that the city grant a 30-day extension till June 12, 2024.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Okay, so you've been granted an extension to June 12th. In this particular case, if you need more time, we'll see you in June. And you can ask for another extension. There's never a guarantee that you'll get one, but there's always a guarantee that you're allowed to ask.
Understood.
Okay?
Guys,
Thank you.
thank you very much.
Good luck.
All right, thank you, guys.
Next case, please.
It's going to be case 24-0556, City versus Erlenbeck and Dunya Kadarstov for the property located at 5106 East 122nd Avenue. The case is before the board based on an alleged repeat violation of Section 10-4B4 nuisance building. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Director Tom Baroni. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening, Tom Baroni, Code Compliance. This case this evening is a repeat violation case that was originally presented to the Code Board back on April 12th, 2023, by Inspector Laurie Smith in case number 22-1311, where the respondent was found in violation of Section 10-4 nuisance buildings. The board gave the respondent 30 days to bring the violation into compliance, or a fine of $25 per day would accrue on May 11, 2023. The violation did come into compliance on August 1st, 2023, where the respondent was granted 2 months extension from the Code Board. At the end of January 2024, I spoke to the building official, Dallas Foss, pertaining to the property about the progress of the construction of this structure that was damaged by a house fire back in 2019. As of today, the respondent has 2 open permits, a residential renovation and air conditioning permit that was obtained on February 9, 2024. As of today, there has been no inspection scheduled. Following that discussion with Mr. Foss and I received other neighbor complaints, I prepared a repeat violation notice on February 7th, 2024, where I posted the notice at the front gate of the property and requested copies to be sent out certified in first-class mail. I also requested a copy to be posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement. At this time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence that was taken by me on April 22nd and April 30th of 2024. Exhibit number 1 shows the partially constructed structure. Exhibit number 2 shows the west side of the structure. Exhibit number 3 shows the posting of the notice hearing at the front gate. And exhibit number 4 is the order in case number 22-1113. 1311, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I'll submit.
Yes, thank you, we'll accept.
Not doing anything.
So, Mr. Chairman, the city has been very sympathetic to the loss of the structure due to a fire. However, this structure needs to be rebuilt. And as I've received 3 complaints from the neighbors, they're all frustrated because of them looking at this partially constructed property, which you'll see. It's becoming a nuisance to the neighborhood. And the value, they're concerned about the value, they're concerned about, it's been 4 years and nothing has been done. So the owner has been pulling permits, and she obtains permits, but then she allows them to expire after 6 months. So we felt as though once she pulls a permit, we try to back off a little bit as far as, but, I mean, it's 4 years later, 5 years later, and we're still, as you can see, there's nothing
And,
really done.
To bring it in compliance, the structure has to, the work has to be completed, is that right?
Well, I mean, I'd like to see cinder blocks put up.
Some
And
progress.
yeah, there's gotta be,
Yeah, but at least
substantial-
some progress, some
yeah.
substantial progress.
Yes.
Okay.
any questions from?
Any questions for,
So I'm a little confused on how the property was brought into compliance for the previous, previous violation, I guess.
Because back in that case, she pulled some permits, and then there was an inspection by the building official,
Okay.
and we kind of thought we were going in the right direction. So we kind of put the property in compliance. However, everything she just sits on the permit and lets it expire, and then nothing else is done.
Can I,
So that's, I mean, the photos are, what you're gonna see tonight are the photos of the property today. There's 2 exterior walls, and that's it, and the foundation.
go ahead, Rod.
It's close to this question, but I don't understand clearly how it became a repeated violation. I know they came and did something, and they stopped again, and within 6 months, right?
5 years.
5 years, 5 years they can,
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was some work, like I said, when Lori presented this case back in '23, there was a permit pulled, and then all of a sudden, there was little work done, and then we did put the property in compliance, because we were trying to be, you know,
The owners, are they, that have been communicating with you, or?
yes, yep.
What's their point of view?
Well, I can't speak for them, honestly,
They're not
but
here,
They're here, they're here.
they're right here. But I mean, they've been great to us. I mean, we've had good dialogue, but as far as code enforcement, we need to have this structure built. I mean, it's not fair to the neighbors to sit there and look at a vacant lot that's partially constructed for 4 or 5 years. It's just, like I said, we're trying to be good and, you know,
Trying to be
fair to them.
Partners, yeah.
well, so this is also the place of the kangaroos.
That's correct.
How do they not have a house, but they can house kangaroos?
Because they have a state permit.
Well, it makes no sense to me that you can have kangaroos that hop around in their canoes.
But we're not talking about the kangaroos.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but like, if you
Brian,
can,
this is not the forum for that.
Wasn't there, sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying,
It's,
build a house.
Apples and oranges, you're talking about apples and oranges.
that's tonight,
Wow.
that's not the forum to be
That's
talking about.
my opinion.
Wasn't there some issue with the electricity? I mean, maybe I'm
There's a
mistaking
temporary
this.
pole. You can see the temporary pole that's put there for
So
Tico.
that's been resolved.
There's only a pole there, that's it.
Oh,
There's no
but
hookup to it.
that's what I
There's no-
thought the
yeah, there's
problem
no-
was,
yeah, that was, you're right.
that Tico was supposed to come out and,
Yeah, get a meter it, yeah.
but that hasn't happened.
There's a pole there, 4x4 wood pole.
So we don't know why
There's no
Tico,
electric to it.
but we don't know why Tico hasn't proceeded with this.
You have to,
Or why
you have to
they
pay,
can't get
you have to pay for that
Owner
service.
here, you can ask them.
Yeah, I get, I'm just, no, I wasn't trying to.
Ernie, did you want to say something?
Yeah, real quick. Because this is a repeat violation, normally, you've had repeat violation cases before, but normally they've been in the area of parking on an unapproved surface or a inoperable motor vehicle on the property, and there's only been some, like, finite number of days, 4 or 5, and you've done that. This is a different, this being a repeat violation in this type of sense, where it's a continuing violation yet, just wanted to make you aware that you have the option, if you find it to be a repeat violation, of, normally you have fines up to $250 a day, but because if you find it's a repeat, it'll be fines up to $500 a day. And also, you have the option of having the fines start when the code enforcement officer observed the repeat violation. Again, that's an option. We're not saying you have to, but knowing that if we're presenting a repeat violation, I wanted you to know, and I wanted the respondents to know too.
And
once it's-
just for the record, hang on a second. For the record, Tom, what's that date?
February 7th. That's
Of-
the day
of
I
this
prepared-
year?
That's the day I prepared the repeat notice
Okay.
of violation.
So it's 3 months. 2 months.
Okay, so you had a question?
I just, in most of the previous repeat violations, the property has been in compliance. A lot of times it's parking violation. So in this case, it's not in compliance, so in this case, we could continue with a daily fine if we wanted to.
Yes, it could. That's why I wanted to answer any questions you might have on that, because these don't come to you
It's a-
in
it's
this
a shell.
form often.
It's barely a shell.
He saw the pictures.
Yeah, I got
Okay,
the picture, so it's-
Anything else, Tom?
Everybody's okay?
Yeah, we may bring you back up, but for now, we're good.
Juan had a question.
Juan, you have a question for Tom?
What was the previous fine?
There was no previous fine.
Okay.
She came in front of the board for 2 months, requested an extension, and we finally put the property in compliance. So there was no fine.
Name and address, please.
Junior Ramirez Cadarzo, 5106 East 122nd Avenue, Tempe Terrace, Florida, 33617.
Floor is yours.
Good afternoon. I'm sorry I have to go back after I've been coming here. One thing that I want to say, I don't know if he mentioned it. When the house got on fire, we weren't the owner, and I explained that to him. After several years, we managed to refinance, not refinance, like getting a mortgage and then getting a house on our name. And I explained him that how you want me to pay for or start a process with a remodeling when the house is not mine. And only after, then I start moving forward, hiring like a person to do the plans, because it's our first time, we're still kind of new with all the stuff. And then back on whatever what he was saying, that I'm pulling the permits. I'm not pulling no permits. I have a contractor who is the one who's doing that. I don't do anything because I'm not Homestead. So everything, I have to wait for other people to do it. So I don't pull no permits. I don't know why he said that before it wasn't compliant and now it's in compliant. The reason that he's taking me here is because the house is not being built. So as long as the house is not built, I'm not in compliant, and I understand. I told him since we got the mortgage, when we got the houses in our name, we pay $2,000 plus every month for the house being sitting there, plus whatever we live, because we cannot live there. So it is very, very important to us to finish up quick as soon as possible, because we're wasting money. We've been having like a financial hardship, and it's very embarrassing to say, but and then after the last time that we were here, stuff didn't come out the way we thought it would be. We thought we already would be living in the house. So whenever he took the picture that he said that he inspected on April, is that the pictures when the foundation happened? When remember I tell you that they just put the foundation, the whole foundation, like
The picture that I displayed
this
today,
Monday.
you could view the picture that
But when was this picture?
it was just recently, just this,
Like 3 days ago or more than that?
there's the photos. That's April
Yeah.
30th.
Yeah, right now there is more job done. I'm so sorry. We were in Georgia working, and I barely had time to take a shower and then come fast because I didn't want to miss this. So I spoke to him. He's aware that this Monday, like 2 days ago, they already poured the whole foundation inside, the concrete. Inside, when this was taken, I believe it is what it was been done in here. It was the whole in-ground plumbing, and then the whole I don't know the specific name, but whenever you put the blocks all around the perimeter with the rebars, and after that, inspections, and the last time that Dallas was there for an inspection, it was to inspect also the termite, which is also processed. Dallas inspected the termite back when the kangaroo got out on February. So after that, he said that after we got the permit, we didn't get no inspection. This is incorrect because we did get an inspection. That's when Dallas came with the other group of over there to inspect the spray of the termite, the paper, the yellow paper that we keep over there. So it was an inspection pool. So after that, the next step, because the plumber had to go back a couple times to kind of like check on something on the pipes. So that's what the concrete, it wasn't poured before, but then already it's poured everywhere, the concrete. This Monday, I'm so sorry I don't have pictures, but he's aware. I text him. And then I spoke to my contractor this next week. They're supposed to already start with the blocks. They already ordered all the trusses. I mean, I understand.
Trusses in the warehouse.
Yeah, the trusses are in the warehouse. I understand, I wish that would be something. I wish I could be magic, and then I could like just build the house like that. So about the inspections, the last inspection that we have is like I said, the termite. There is no other inspection until the blocks are up. I spoke to my contractor because I'm trying to be aware of the processing. So I know just because he don't see no inspection called in, it doesn't mean that it's nothing going on. It's just there is no more inspection. No, even after the concrete is poured, then it's no more inspection until the blocks, they go all the way up. And then they call the next inspection, but then my contractor say that next week he's supposed to already, and putting blocks up doesn't really take that long. It takes probably like, I don't know, a couple days to put the whole
You
blocks
said
up.
you had the trusses are sitting in a warehouse?
Order, yeah.
Do you have any kind of
I mean,
purchase order or ticket or something? Any kind of
I can
proof?
get that from my contractor. Like I say, I cannot do anything. I know where it's a warehouse when it's materials over there
How do you know it's in the warehouse?
because my contractor tell me.
And who is your contractor?
Alain Gonzalez. I mean, he lives in Tempe. He don't speak Spanish. His wife is the one that
Speak Spanish, you don't speak.
I'm so. He don't speak English. So I mean, his wife is the one who do all the paperwork. Honest with you, with my like low money to do all this stuff, it's he's been working with me with all this stuff, which I really appreciate it. I had to like change contractor before because one of the contractors, like I said, like I explained you before, it's very hard to find contractors that they're willing to work with temperatures. But then he's being
Anything else you want us to know?
And you guys have any other question that as far as I
Questions
can,
for
I
the
would
city,
try
but,
to.
I don't think, go ahead. Rod, then Bill, and then you.
I just wanted to ask you, is your contractor licensed in the city of Timble Terrace?
Oh yeah.
He's registered with it?
Yes. He has to go through all that. Yes.
And, now, I just wanted to be clear about what Tom said. What's the story of the permits? They just run out and they expire. That's a big problem too. So
I know, but we really didn't have the money to do forward. That's
just
what
the finance of the project is the problem. It's not the contractor being there or,
The first contract that we had, actually, I mean, we wasn't really getting nowhere with him, so that's why we also had to go redo all the paperwork. That is that on the city when we changed
They're on their
contractor.
second contractor.
Yeah, that's our second contractor. So he's the one that, he's been very patient with us, like money-wise, construction-wise. And, yes, like I said, because this temporarily work different than in any other city. He explained me that, like, he paid, for example, like we didn't even know. Let's say, for example, you pay for the permits, like he cannot pay with everybody's, every single different like mechanical, electrical, they have to go in person. So he always telling me that it's a hard time, have to like texting everybody, make sure, and then some even tell them like, yeah, we already went and picked up the permit, and then I just find out whenever I call the building department no longer go that no, mechanical is not ready, but and I explained the lady like there is not even walls over there. So yeah, money wasted too.
do you have a construction loan? Because.
We already got, yeah, we already we got a loan which is gonna help us forward, so it should be faster now. But like I said, I have some family, I have family in Cuba, then they're not doing so well. So, but I know this is got nothing to do with that. I know, like he said, the neighbors don't want to look at empty lot. I understand. Like I said, I can go to my bank account and I can pull up every month.
To explain to you, if it was empty, that would have been different, but that's.
I know. It doesn't look good. I believe me, it doesn't look good. But it's just a waste of money every month. Every month, I can get the statements. Every month, I paid money for the house. I can prove you that every month, I pay money for the house.
Understand? Bill?
Yeah, I just was curious. So the fire happened 4 to 5 years ago. So
My stepdad. It was the-
when did you guys actually purchase the house? How long did you
It's in
own
the
it?
system, or like at least like 2 years after or something like that.
Good,
So
so-
in
Or
February of
something like that.
24, you owned the house.
On the February 24th.
February of 2024, this year.
Oh yeah, more, yeah, yes.
Okay, so,
But not right when the fire happened. I explained him.
and have you resolved,
So go ahead.
Go ahead.
have you resolved the issue with getting electricity to the lot, to the lot? Have you?
That's a funny question, and I think we were talking about before, because and I'm glad that Dallas is here. The thing is, it's tricky because this is not new construction. This is only renovation. They do not allow me electric pole. They don't give me any inspection for electric pole. Only new construction. The city of Tempe Terrace will allow an inspection of electric pole. So I kind of wasted time on that 4x4 with the electrical setup that is in there too, because you guys not gonna give me an inspection because I have to go to Tico to figure it out. We've been using generators. But it's funny, yeah, because it's a specific renovation and not a new construction. You guys not gonna give me any inspection for a pole inspection. So that's why we've been using generators. And then Dallas is here. He knows for new construction only, you guys put the inspection on the poles. And after the inspection, that's the only way that I can.
I'd like to hear from Dallas.
Okay, yeah, in a minute. So as of right now, there's no electricity out there?
Well, generators.
Generators, okay.
Yeah.
Brian?
Do you have evidence that you've actually, the trusses are in a warehouse? Do you have
I
evidence?
asked that already.
Well, just in general, because it doesn't seem like you have anything, and it's been years.
Well, we've been telling you what we've been told by
Yeah.
our,
Yeah, but
I can
that's
I
hearsay.
can
That's
always-
hearsay.
Hang on. If you're gonna speak, I need to have.
Oh, I'm sorry,
your
yeah.
name and
It's
address.
sorry.
no, I'm just 100%.
I understand, but if you're.
I
gonna
mean,
speak,
like,
go.
can you submit anything into evidence?
I
Because I'll trust that a lot
Brian,
more
hang
at
on-
this
Hang on a
point.
sec, we'll get there in a minute. Okay. If there's any other questions, you guys can have a seat.
Okay.
Either Dallas and/or Tom. Don't go too far, yeah. Dallas and/or Tom,
I think Dallas will come up and answer the question as far as the poll.
yes, let's ask him that, but then I have questions probably for you, okay?
Dallas Foster building official. They have a temporary pole on site. We can issue temporary or electrical release for that power, to get power on the site.
Okay.
However, at this time, the electrical permit was issued a while ago, so it has expired, so you just have to renew that, get the inspection for the temporary pole, we can get power turned on the site. The current permits last, they're good, I believe, till roughly August. I think February was the inspection, you got 180 days for
So
that.
the other two permits that are active are good until August.
The building permit and mechanical.
Okay, so the electrical one has
Electrical
expired.
has expired.
So even if they were to do
They can renew,
electrical
they can
work,
come in and renew.
they gotta
the
renew it.
Contractor can renew it and get it back in and get the T-pole
Okay.
energized. So they have power on site.
Okay, thanks. Tom,
Yes, sir.
question for you. If they were to provide proof that the block mason's coming out and he's gonna be putting block up, and provide proof that they actually have these trusses sitting in a warehouse somewhere ready to be set, would that satisfy you as far as progress?
I'd rather see the blocks installed
Okay,
and then allow them to come for a lien reduction,
okay,
and then we could take that into consideration. At this point, this is, like I said, this has been going on for years, and I think I'd rather see cinder blocks put up, maybe some truss, and then we could put it in compliance.
okay.
I thought you said there were cinder blocks that had been.
No, no, no.
No?
The concrete's been installed and the stub ups for the plumbing is done.
Foundation. Yeah.
And he said the
poured the slab.
block guy was coming out shortly to start the
Oh,
block.
okay,
There's
And it should only take a couple days. That's what she said.
okay.
Okay, if there's no other questions for anybody,
For Tom, just one last, what do you mean by lien the reduction? What,
Well, there's gonna be an accruing lien, then a
If we-
fine, and
if
then
we
there's
get-
a lien on the property. The respondent has the right to ask for a lien reduction. So let's say the fine is $10,000. It'll be an application filled out by the respondent. And then Ernie gets it, and then he reviews it, and then we reduce the lien to a
so
substantial
they
amount.
do have now.
no.
If I-
Oh.
Remember when I came up earlier, talked about the fact that this was a repeat violation? You have the option, if you want, instead of like your normal cases where you would say 30 days to come into compliance or a fine will start, you can actually, if you choose to do it, start a fine from the date that the repeat violation was observed.
Which is
by the
February.
Code officer. So in other words, you can have a fine start from February 27th.
February 7th.
February 7th.
February 7th. That's a choice. I'm not telling you have to do that. I'm saying that's your
I'm
option.
trying to avoid that, Ernie.
Understood, but you were asking
trying
about the
to
lien.
give her with
Hang
the
on,
permission.
we're not there yet, okay? Let's hear about your thoughts later.
Trying to avoid that, though. but-
So if there's no other questions for the respondents or for the city, I will entertain a motion.
I have a question for the respondent.
Hang on a second, can you come back up?
To satisfy some of the board members, is it possible that you could obtain a list from your contractor, a purchase order from your contractor of the materials that's being stored?
I'm sure, yeah, I'm sure it had to be.
I mean,
because-
you would have to have
yes.
some type of.
Yes, I'm sure. I also want you to guys to understand that my contractor doesn't only have my house to take care of it. You know, he also has other stuff. So he also, sometimes, he needs to work on other stuff, finish or something, and then come over. But yes, I'm sure. I'm positive that he,
I believe you mentioned his wife supports him.
Yes, his wife is the one that, they actually even one time offered me if they wanted me to come over here because they're the one who know more about me. I'm positive they can even, say more than I can. But yes, it had to be because, yes, absolutely, 100%.
How do we go by
hang on.
obtaining that?
I was gonna say,
Hang on, slow down, one at a time. Okay, that's not our job, okay, that they can't, obviously, they're not gonna be able to produce it tonight,
Correct.
but you can take that take all the facts into consideration when you make your motion. Brian,
I was gonna say, if we could get that within like 2 weeks, that, I would think, that should be.
but however, you also heard that the city's position is, that's all well and good if they produce that, but he wants to see some real progress. He wants to see the blocks up. He wants to see the trusses set.
I agree. I 100% agree with that.
No matter what, the blocks.
I'm just
We're done.
saying, I think she can only do so much to get her contractor to,
Okay, again, we're not there yet. I'll hear your thoughts after we
Okay.
make the motion.
Sure.
Is there any other questions?
One last
Okay.
question for Tom. How many complaints you have? How many?
I have 3 complaints.
It's only surrounding neighbors?
Yeah, yeah.
So almost everybody around.
And whenever we have a violation in that near vicinity, the first thing they'll say is, you allow that structure to be the way it is with that property, but you're gonna bother me about my trailer in the driveway.
yep.
That's very common.
Pressure on
Is that a complaint? No, but that's just to make me aware of what's going on at our location.
Okay. Ma'am, you can have a seat, thank you. So if there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll attempt that.
Okay, thank you.
In case number 24-0556, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of evidence the following violation of the city of Temple Terrace City
Stop you
Code.
right there. Following a repeat violation.
You gotta go to the repeat.
You gotta do the repeat.
Yeah, it's,
Well, you said violation, you didn't say repeat.
yes, the evidence, the following violation. Oh, I have to say repeat? Oh, okay. It's not in the written.
There is a
Repeat.
repeat ordinance.
He's reading it correctly.
I'm reading it.
Oh, you are reading? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's later on that.
Oh, okay, my mistake.
Start again.
Yeah.
In case number 24-0556, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 5106 East 122nd Avenue with the applicable code violation, section. Section 10-4, subsection B, subsection 4. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, Tom Baroni, along with other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation of all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the respondent be found to be a repeat violator as defined by City Code Section 1-63 because the respondent has been found to have violated the same provision of the city code within the previous 5 years, regardless of the property address. I further move that the daily fine be assessed for the repeat violations from the time of the notice of repeat violation until the time the repeat violations are corrected. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second it just to open up the floor for
We have a
discussion.
motion and a
We
second.
need to-
Any further discussion?
Yeah.
One at a time, please.
The question is, I did not want to go back, but the repeat violator, how we have.
Well, you have,
These are just guidelines. You could,
you have the option, you could have given them 30 days.
Yes.
Or you can go back to
Yeah.
February 7th.
Okay, I want to give him 30 days. How do I do that? There's no,
Well,
Then you just change it to, I'm gonna give them until.
revise this. Don't read it yet.
well, hang on, one at a time.
your own
And
words.
the way to do it is you tell me that you'd like to revise your motion.
I'd like to revise my motion.
Okay,
Because
then whoever seconded the first motion, no, you don't, it's not time to second.
I got a second this
You
time.
guys gotta stop pulling the trigger so fast, okay? Wait for me to direct you, okay? Once he makes the motion, whoever made the second the first time will need to second the new motion. Okay?
So what's your revision?
my revision would be, I don't want to go back to February to start
Okay,
any, I just
Make
want
a
to.
new motion.
Yeah, I, just the new motion, so it's, where do I insert that?
It's at the end where it says February, where it says
The daily fine be assessed.
daily fine be assessed. Ernie, go ahead.
It just might be easier if you're not, are you looking to make, are you also at the same time wanting to find this to be a repeat violation?
Well, it is a repeat violation, you know, I trust Tom, you know, and that, but I don't want to go back to, you know, I want to give them one more last chance of 30 days to prove and to continue and get the list and do all that. It seems to me, you know,
I would
it's just
suggest then you read the, if you want to go that route, you read the normal.
the normal
But
existing.
at the end, if you want, you know, once you're done with that, if you want to find it to be a repeat violation regardless, and you can just make, kind of make that finding.
Statement of that it's a repeat violation, but on the other hand,
Looks
I
like
would
you want to give them a deadline, so
Yes.
I think we would just move forward with just your normal violation. And then at the end, if you want to make it clear that you do find this to be a repeat, just for future purposes.
Yeah, with Tom's, accept another 30 days to give them one last chance.
You're the board member.
Yes.
It's your decision what you want to
Okay.
decide.
Then, do I have to read the new?
You have to
Okay.
reread the motion. Like he said, use the regular motion, but make
Okay.
sure that you include in there
Yes,
somewhere.
yes, it's gonna,
repeat Violation.
okay, all right. In case number 24-0556, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violation of the city's, of Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 5106 East 122nd Avenue with the applicable code violation, section 10-4 subsection B subsection 4. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, Tom Baroni, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and a notice of violation of which received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the said violation is a repeated violation and should be corrected on or before June 12, 2024. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before the day they order to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
A motion and a second. Before we get into deliberations, I want the record to show that the original motion made by Rod has died for lack of approval by the board. Okay, any further discussion?
I think $25 a day is not enough. I think this has been going on for years, and I understand there's financial constraints, but at the same time, work has to happen. Either demolish it and make it a clear, empty lot, or do something.
I don't think that this fine would be starting June, you know, no matter what you put. You could put $100 per day, but if they do start putting the cinder blocks, police permits, getting going, I think Tom will be satisfied. And I don't want to increase the hardship on them. It seems to me they're going through a hardship. To be going through this all these years, they must have some kind of hardship, financial hardship.
With all due respect,
Yeah.
Rod, I think you're you're saying one thing and then doing another, because you just said that it doesn't matter what the fine is, that they're gonna have it all fixed by June. So why not make the fine higher?
Well, if that's required, then revision, I don't like to put that bigger,
I'm not a fan
Fine
of
on-
big fines
yeah.
either. However, I am a fan of
but what would be satisfaction, between 25 to 250?
It's a motivator.
I know it is a motivator, but, this within 100 days will be $2,500. Within
But you
a
just
year
said-
will be,
You
yeah.
just said they're gonna have it all done by June.
Well, yeah, well, I'm hoping that would be an incentive. I gave them a lower fine to just go and get,
from the street. There's
going.
been nothing done from the street. There's been nothing done for years.
Bill, you want to say something?
I just think we've kind of bent the compliance rules a little bit in this
Yes.
case to begin with, so it's hard for me to justify a high fine or a repeat violation where we go back and give them fines for previous work. I don't think that's gonna get, we want to encourage compliance, right?
Yes.
That's our goal.
Right.
And I think in this case, I just don't see where a high fine is going to help these people get the job done. And I would like to have another 30 days. And if they don't come back with any kind of hard evidence that they're making progress, then, we'll deal with it at that time.
And I'm okay with that. Like if they come back and they can show us that there's evidence that there's making progress and they're stepping up and they're doing the things that they need to do, because we've all had work done on our house. We've all, you can get your contractor to give you paperwork to show that things are being done. That's something they can do. I'm not saying I don't want to. I don't want to backdate. I don't want to backdate fines. I'm not encouraging that. Like I don't think that's the right thing to do. But I'm
I'm kind of,
say-
sorry.
$25 a day
I'm
is that's what we do for
I'm
parking.
agreeing with you in that, in the sense that
And the fine won't start for 30 days. Right.
once we
Right.
set the fine, that's it.
Correct.
We can't increase it at a later date, so
Correct.
maybe we want to start with something a little more urgent. It's up,
May I speak?
yeah.
Brian, I agree with you. I think $25 has a little sting, Well, what did you have in mind?
I mean, personally, for me, for considering that we've already given, they've come in front of us several times now. This is, and from the street, from the road, you can't see the difference. I would say $100 a day. I'm not saying 250. I'm not saying 500. We can go to 500. This is a repeat violation. We can go to $500 a day. I'm not saying we do that because our job is to encourage compliance. Our job is to help them get to that point. But I want encouragement, I guess.
Just had a question for Tom, so
Go ahead.
if we go with a higher fine, would you be open to the same principles that we used before, where just showing signs of construction would be, quote, in compliance? So we wouldn't, if they made a significant amount of progress by 30 days, could we, get not impose the $100 a day fine if that was the case?
If I was to see cinder blocks up, maybe some truss,
Yeah,
I'd be satisfied with that.
I think that's fair.
The respondent did say it'll only take a few days to put a cinder block walls up, so I'm good with that.
So in that case, I'm good with a higher fine.
Well, I
As
don't
long
mind
as
revising it to
as long as the city is, is
Sounds
able.
like-
Remember, you always have the option if they want to come and because the way you've done this, just like any other case, they can always come
Or you can
and
postpone.
show, hey, we've got, made this X progress.
We could extend, that's true, yeah, we don't have.
Which
to-
I'm absolutely okay with that. Like if there is progress and there is movement happening, I'm okay. Like I don't want to fine people just for the sake of finding people. That's not what we're here to do. But from the road, I'm sorry, from
And
the
as
road,
Tom-
there's
and as
been no
Tom mentioned
progress.
Earlier, there's also the lien reduction process. If they were to incur substantial fine, and they can show proof that, it was out of their care and control, that the block guy went on strike or whatever, they can come back, I forget what it is, how many days after compliance?
What's that? Yeah, 35.
35 days after compliance, they can file for a lien reduction. So there's a couple of avenues to lessen the sting if the sting is, if they do incur a fine. But I'm in Brian's camp that we need to get some incentive here to get things moving.
I don't mind revising it to $100 a day.
So please do it formally. So
Yes. Do I have to?
all you have to do is say, I'd like to revise my motion and say what you're gonna say.
Okay, I would like to revise my motion to revise the fine to be $100 per day,
Starting on,
starting on June 12th, 2024.
do we have a revised to a motion? Do we,
You
who's,
want me to re-second it? Yeah,
Yes.
I second it.
okay. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Okay. So here's what happened. You have been found in violation. If you do not show progress on that particular structure by June 12th, a fine of $100 per day will begin to be incurred on the property. So it's in your best interest to provide Tom with proof of the trusses, get the block guy out there. If you have any other questions about getting the electric pole inspected, Dallas is always available. But you got to get moving, okay? And wish you luck, okay? Thank you. Next case, please.
Case 23-6292, City versus Chelsea Jenkins for the property located at 7510 Gadsden Drive. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 8-10213B, exterior walls maintained in good condition, Section 8-10213C, roof maintained in good condition, and Section 8-10213P, structural supports maintained in good repair. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members, Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case originated proactively on December the 28th, 2023. My inspection revealed front and east side wall stains, fascia staining, the east side soffit was in disrepair, and the front porch was missing a support column. At that time, I left a door hanger with a compliance date of the 29th of January 2024. My inspection on January the 31st, 2024 revealed the front wall and the fascia stains had been removed. The east side wall stains were attempted by pressure washing but may require painting. Also, there was no change to the soffit in disrepair nor the missing support column on the patio of the structure. Therefore, a notice of violation was prepared with a compliance date of the 29th of March, 2024. No one was at home, so I posted the notice letter at the front door and requested copies be sent certified in first-class mail to the owner of record. I also requested a copy be posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement. At this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence taken by me on January the 31st and April the 23rd, 2024, showing the violations.
We'll accept those. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Exhibit number 1 shows a notice letter posted at the front door. Exhibit number 2 shows the east side wall stains and a missing support column on the patio. Exhibit number 3 shows the east side soffit in disrepair. Exhibit number 4 shows the top section where the missing support column was originally on the patio. Exhibit number 5 shows the bottom section on the concrete floor where the support column was. Mr. Chairman and board members, Ms. Jenkins did contact me on January the 31st, 2024 concerning the notice of violation letter. She stated she would begin pressure washing the structure to remove the staining and would be checking into solidifying a contractor to get for the needed repair work to the east side soffit and also the missing support column on the patio. She has been in contact with me, and as of today's date, the site does remain out of compliance, and I am seeking a ruling, but she is here this evening and would like to address the board.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Before you sit down,
Yes, sir.
any questions for the code officer? Go ahead, Bill.
All 3 violations are still in place
Yes, sir.
in one form or another. She said she did do some pressure washing.
Yes, sir, she did. She did the pressure washing on the front of the structure and got the wall stains removed on the front as well as the fascia. We have those on the east side as well, which she did attempt. and made a really good attempt in getting those off. There's a huge oak tree that's over there on the side. A lot of that stainings came from the oak tree. I'm hoping that she's going to be able to, I don't know what kind of chemical was used to get the mildew off, but it seems like some pesky type of orange.
Yeah.
For whatever reason is on that east side, and Ms. Jenkins was unable to get it off at that time. But she's definitely, been working towards trying to bring the property into compliance.
Is there any safety concerns as far as the missing column? Is there any, like, is the roof sagging, or is there any chance?
No, sir, it's not sagging. As far as any kind of, something that Dallas is here and would be better versed as far as to say, yes, that there is some, that column, they would need something else or do something else to it. From what I have seen of the column, sir, it is not dipping. There are other ones in the neighborhood, and they do have, all the columns. But again, Ms. Jenkins, I do not see where it's leaning, it's dipping, it's intact. The other support columns also look good when I looked at those.
So in your opinion, it's not a public safety concern
No,
at
sir.
this point?
No, sir.
Okay.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Yes, sir.
If you want to approach?
Hi, everybody.
Before you say anything, name and address, please.
Good evening. I don't dispute anything that she says.
Hang on. Name and address, please.
I can't hear.
Name and address.
My
Your
address?
name and address.
Name and address.
Oh, Chelsea Jenkins, 7510 Gaston Drive, Temple Terrace.
Floor is yours. Say what you want to say.
Oh, I don't dispute what she's saying. She's pretty accurate. When it comes to the exterior panel that she's speaking of, at first we thought it was something that was like structural to my roof, but it's not. I called a few different companies. It's hard to describe over the phone exactly what it is because roofing companies don't do that. It's just another company. I called 3 or 4, had it scheduled. I have a part-time job, kids. So if I have something scheduled with the company, 2 or 3 days, they said that they're going to come out. They don't follow up. I'm not calling that company back. I'm going to go to another company. It just so happened nobody does. Me and her did have a conversation, and she gave me the number to, I can't remember whom, called to see if I needed a permit to fix it. We talked about it because it's less than 100 square feet. And again, it's not structural to my roof. I don't need a permit. So now I do have a handyman that is coming to do it. But I was trying to get like a contract company to do it. So if there was any permits or anything to be done, they would be responsible for pulling it. So if possible, I could just get like, I don't know, a week or so, and then it'll be done.
Any other questions? Thank you, ma'am. You can have a seat. You can sit down.
Okay.
Thanks. Okay, if there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
All right, I'll take this one. In case number 23-6292, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace Code exist on the property located at 7510 Gadsden Drive. Violations sections 8-102-13-B, 8-102-13-C, and 8-102-13-P. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the Code Enforcement Officer Lori Smith and Chelsea Jenkins, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violations be corrected on or before June 12, 2024. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that date, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violations continue past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violations, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violations, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $50 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays? Motion carries. Okay, so you've been found in violation. You have until June 12th of this year to bring the property into compliance. That includes the post and all the staining, all that stuff, okay? If it's not brought into compliance by June 12th, a fine of $50 per day will start at midnight that night. Okay? Thank you. Good luck. Yes, sir.
Do you want to tell her about
Oh, yeah. If for some reason you can't get it done by June 12th, you need to come back to us, let us know the reasons why, and you're welcome to ask for an extension. There is never a guarantee you will get an extension, but you can ask, okay?
Oh, it's gonna be done.
Okay, I hope so. Good luck.
She wanted 2 weeks, so you got a month.
Yeah, good luck. But that option is available to you if something does come up, okay?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, well, now we're back to our regularly scheduled program. Case number 24-0991.
Okay, case number 24-0991, City versus Randa Mustafa for the property located at 8713 Beverly Drive. The case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 8-102 13C, roof maintained in good condition. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman, board members. Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case originated proactively on March the 5th, 2024. My inspection revealed bougainvillea vegetation on the south side of the roof. At that time, I left a door hanger with the reinspection date of the 19th of March, 2024. My inspection on March the 22nd, 2024 revealed no change. Therefore, notice of violation was prepared with the compliance date of the 10th of April, 2024. No one was at home, so I posted the notice letter at the front door and requested copies be sent certified and first-class mail to the owner of record. I also requested a copy be posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement. At this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence of the violations taken by me on March the 26th, 2024, showing the violation. Exhibit number 1 shows the notice letter posted at the front door. Exhibit number 2 shows the bougainvillea on the roof, the south side of the structure. As of today's date, Mr. Chairman and board members, the site is now in compliance. I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance, and I'm just looking for a finding.
We will accept that, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I can do this one.
Thank you.
In case number 24-0991, I move the city is proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace Code did exist on the property located at 8713 Beverly Drive. Applicable codes 8-102, subsection 13, subsection C. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from code enforcement officers, along with other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that there be no fine imposed because the violations were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I just want to make a personal comment that somebody deserves an award for removing that. That's a huge bougainvillea, and I've had to deal with those things. The thorns on those things are nasty. I mean, you can
fighting a snake?
It's and you'll end up and you will get bit. You'll have plenty of scars to show for it. So
Postcard time, Tom.
anyway.
All right. If there's no other comments, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. Next case, please.
Case 24-1021, City versus Al-Zanzami, M. Al-Zanzami, for the property located at 235 Willowick Avenue. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 8-28A1, permit application required. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was initiated from Community Development on March 6, 2024, as they had placed a red tag for AC work being done without a permit. I prepared a notice of violation on March 28, 2024, with a reinspection date of April 3, 2024. I posted a copy of the notice of violation at the front door, and a copy was posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed, both certified and regular mail, to the address of the owner of record. My communication with Community Development showed no permit had been acquired, so a notice of hearing was prepared on April 19th, 2024, and the case was scheduled for the May Municipal Code Board meeting. I have been in contact with the resident. He will be out of town for this hearing, but he stated he has been in contact, with Community Development and plans on having some old permits closed out and will have the current AC issue resolved within 30 days. This time I would like to submit photographic evidence taken by myself on March 28, 2024, and a screenshot of the stop work order.
We'll accept that, thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows the notice of violation. Exhibit number 2 shows a screenshot of the stop work order. Mr. Foss just informed me that apparently the permit has been applied for, just has to be paid for.
Okay.
And the site is not in compliance, and I'm seeking the ruling.
Very good, thank you. Any questions for the code officer?
Yes. Is it replacing the whole entire AC or just the,
Oh, I have no idea.
how did you catch the violation?
It's whatever the violation is, he needs a permit and he hasn't got the permit, so that's the violation.
How do we know that he was working on the AC?
Community Development put a red tag on the site and informed us that they'd put a red tag on the site for work without a permit.
It was a neighbor complaint to community development.
Oh, okay.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
All right, you want to do it? It's totally up to you. All right, so in case number 24-1021, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 235 Willow Wick Avenue. And the code violation is section 8-28-A-1. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from Code Enforcement Officer Doug Allen, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violations be corrected on or before June 12th, 2024. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continues past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no nays, motion carries. Next case, please.
Case 24-1274, City versus Zulia M. Tejada de Peguero and Alfredo M. Peguero Rivera for the property located at 5215 Holland Avenue. The case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 10-3B, sanitation, grass weeds. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Allen. And the city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by me on March 25th, 2024 for overgrown conditions. I left a door hanger with a reinspection date of March 26, 2024. My reinspection, on April 8th, 2024. My reinspection on April 9th showed no change. I prepared a notice of violation on that date with a reinspection date of April 16th. I posted the notice at the front door, and a copy was posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed, both certified and regular mail, to the owner of record. My reinspection on April 19th showed no change, so I prepared a notice of hearing on that date, and the case was scheduled for the May Municipal Code Board meeting. This time I'd like to submit photographic evidence taken by myself on April 9th and April 19th. And also I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance because the site is in compliance and I'm seeking a finding.
Very good, thank you, we'll accept that.
Exhibit number 1 shows the notice of violation posting, and exhibits number 2 and 3 show the overgrown conditions.
Very good. Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do. Okay. In case number 24-1021, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code did exist on the property located at 235 Willow Lock Avenue with the applicable,
Nope, we're in Holland.
Case, next.
oh, I'm sorry. Oh, 74.
No, we're in Holland.
Sorry. Wrong case. In case number 24-1274, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violation of the City Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 5215 Holland Avenue with the applicable code violation, section 10-3, subsection B. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, Doug Allen, along with any other witnesses, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation of which received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that there be no fine imposed because the violation were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next and last case.
Hooray.
Okay, case 24-1385, City versus White Glove Holdings 2 LLC for the property located at 1401 North River Hills Drive. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 8-10222, maintenance of structures. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening once again, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by a citizen complaint on April 1st, 2024 for a shed roof in disrepair. I left a door hanger with a reinspection date of April 3rd, 2024. My reinspection on April 10th showed no change, so a notice of violation was generated on that date with a reinspection date of April 24th. I posted a notice at the site, and a notice was also posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed, both certified and regular mail, to the address of the owner of record. On April 25th, 2024, my reinspection showed no change, so I prepared a notice of hearing on that date, and the case was scheduled for the May Municipal Code Board meeting. This time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence of the site taken by myself on April 10th and April 25th, 2024.
We'll accept those. Thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows the posting of the notice of violation, and exhibit number 2 shows the shed roof in disrepair. The site is not in compliance, and I'm seeking a ruling.
Very good. Any questions for the code officer?
So this is a building kind of behind the house, or?
It's a shed, yeah, and it's just a utility shed adjacent to the house, or the property, or I guess the house, yeah.
If
Have
you
you had any contact with the homeowner?
Yeah, that would.
No, the house sold roughly a year ago, perhaps a little bit more than that, and it's been vacant ever since. Somebody pays somebody to mow the grass, because it's always, I mean,
Wow.
you would never know that the house was vacant, other than you never see a car there. I've never heard from
Really?
anybody, so.
Okay. Can you tell if the power's still on?
It'd have to be.
I would think it
Doesn't
would.
have to be.
You would think it's
Doesn't
a
have to be, but it makes sense it would be. Doesn't have to be.
pretty big house.
Yeah, I don't know.
River.
Yeah, it's right on the river. It's on
Is
the
it
river
Airbnb?
side. No, I've never seen, like I said, never seen a vehicle, never seen anybody. Actually, there was a notice I'd put on the door in 2023, and it was still on the door from 2023, so.
Okay, well, okay.
That kind
One more
of makes
question.
me assume that nobody's
Go ahead,
coming
Rob.
on.
Wow.
Was this shed permitted?
Oh, God, I have no idea. I mean,
We cannot know.
Well, it's not that,
I know a shed has, you need a permit for a shed,
it
right?
depends.
depends on the size.
Depends on the size and location.
Right, and this one's, I mean, for the roof to have gotten in that bad a shape, I'm assuming this shed's
Been there.
15 or 20 years
Yeah, it's
old. I
gotta
mean,
be
it was a pre-engineered design shed, so.
Okay, if there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do the last one.
Okay.
All right.
In case number, this time I'll get the case correctly.
That'd be nice.
I should.
In case number 24-1385, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 1401 North River Hills Drive with applicable code violation, section 8-102, subsection 22. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, Doug Allen, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation, of which received and all which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the said violation be corrected on or before June 12, 2024. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before the day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, any previous violations committed by the violator, I move the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Okay, on to unfinished business.
Okay, unfinished business, case number 23-3239, City vs. Halu Bira for the property located at 12917 Terrace Springs Drive. The deadline for compliance was April 10th, 2024. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Officer Lori Smith for Section 8-10213C dated April 10th, 2024. Case number 23-5221, City vs. Matthew R. Moran for the property located at 409 Bullard Parkway. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Director Baroni for Sections 8-10213O and 8-10213P dated May 8th, 2024. Case number 24-0154, City vs. MUPR 3 Assets LLC for the property located at 8602 Shirley Drive. The deadline for compliance was April 10th, 2024. An affidavit of noncompliance was issued by Officer Lori Smith, was submitted by Officer Lori Smith for Section 8-28A1 dated April 11th, 2024. Case number 24-0188, City vs. Zadalin Marin for the property located at 202 Mission Hills Avenue. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Officer Allen for Sections 10-34 and 10-3B on April 30th, 2024. Case number 24-0466, City vs. John P. Ziegler for the property located at 306 South Burlingame Avenue. The deadline for compliance was April 10th, 2024. An affidavit of noncompliance was submitted by Officer Smith for Section 12-8592, dated April 11th, 2024. Case number 24-0532, City vs. Barrow Properties LLC for the property located at 8727 Beverly Drive. The deadline for compliance was April 10th, 2024. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Officer Lori Smith for Section 8-28A1, dated April 10th, 2024. Case number 24-1006, City vs. Gonzalo Fernandez Lopez and Sofia Puentes for the property located at 302 Shadow Lane. The property for compliance is tonight at midnight. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Officer Smith for Section 8-28A1, dated May 3rd, 2024. I also have one that is not on the agenda.
Okay?
So it's going to be case numbers 23-1696 and 23-2894, City vs. Mission Street Homes LLC for the property located at 7815 Blar Drive. Payment of $4,250 was made on April 19th, 2024, and this case is no longer on the liens list.
Great. That's it.
Nice.
Very good. Thank you. Is there any other board action? Liens report. You guys should have been, got an updated liens report in your package, along with a spreadsheet showing the case number and name and the liens amounts that have been paid, totaling $12,838. And I would at this point like to ask the deputy clerk to please place a copy of the liens list into the record. Thank you.
Correct.
Any new business? Okay, I don't have any new business, just a reminder that when you get the email about whether or not you're going to be able to make it tonight, please try to respond promptly. Any other new business?
I guess the only thing I had to make sure everyone got the email notification, or maybe I'm the only one that got one, about having to register with the state.
You're the only one that got one.
The financial disclosure?
I got
Yeah.
one too.
Oh, no, I got that.
Oh, you
I
did?
got one too, yeah.
I
I
didn't,
wasn't sure if it was real.
it is.
Well, I contacted Jen.
Well, it is, and you have to, and you're filling it out online now, you're not getting it in the mail, so it is real. Now, Jen, that's a good point, I didn't get one.
Okay.
Neither I.
I don't trust the internet.
So I don't know if it's, if it's related to when we started,
I
or,
recently filled out one, David.
Well, that's why you didn't get one.
I will,
You do it every year?
yeah, you do it every year, yeah.
I will.
But I usually get them in the mail, and this year they changed it,
It's online only this year.
yeah.
I just did mine this week.
I just did mine this week
Oh,
as well.
I don't trust that.
It's pretty much,
I will look into it.
Okay,
Steal my dad.
Both of you, okay.
yeah, and he has to get another one, because he deleted it, he thought it was crap, so.
No, I didn't.
no, they'll send you more.
I just didn't open it yet.
Well, what I don't want to happen is everybody to get and say, hey, you're late.
I have
No.
one question for Tom.
They'll send you one each week.
Hang on.
if you're-
Oh, really?
Yes, because I've got 3 of them now.
Oh, you do? Oh, really? Okay, I haven't gotten any.
Well, Bill, get on
Yeah,
it.
I know. Well, I just was,
Well, he's
I
got-
was like, yeah, I was a little suspicious.
Yeah, again, I don't know if it's based on when you became a member or what, but I don't think it is. I think it's,
My first time dealing with it, so
Okay.
I'll figure it out.
okay, appreciate it.
But it's
All right,
not,
well, now I know it's real. I'll actually like put my info in.
but it's essentially the same as what we filled out on paper, right? It's just an electronic.
Yes,
version.
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
yeah, and it's not the same one that James has to
But I
fill out.
wasn't about to put all my info in.
It could be just the link, and if it's just the link and it's not tied to your names, I just filled mine out for the first time, but if it's not tied to your names, I can forward you guys the link that I received.
That'd be great, yeah. Yeah, try that first, and that way maybe.
Okay, I can try that first and get it to you guys.
Get your identity stolen and then
Why not?
Tell
I don't
us.
have anything. It's fine. Yeah.
take your dad. Steal your
Where's
dad.
that coming from? What email address?
Oh, FTLS? Florida
It's gonna be the Florida,
Department of-
Yeah.
yeah,
Florida,
Florida Department, or Florida
hold on.
Commission of Ethics.
Hold on. I can pull it
I
up.
will forward it to you, and then you'll be able to see from mine. It is legitimate.
Yeah.
It is your financial disclosure form. It's just the Form 1. So they're not asking for as much information as they would on the Form 6, which is for elected officials only. So to,
Yeah, and it's, for those of you who have filled them out in the
Here.
past, it's the same form you've been filling out on paper, it's just now, this year it's electronic.
Yeah, it makes it easier, actually,
Yeah.
because you can
Well,
mail it in.
I always made a copy of mine, just in case they decided I didn't do it, but I really did, so. So now I can just have to print it, I guess hopefully there's an option to print it when you're done. Or email it to you, yes, yeah, there you go. Anything else? Go ahead,
Question for Tom.
go ahead.
I only see 2 code enforcement officers. I thought we hired a new guy.
He didn't make it this week, he resigned. It wasn't looking good, you know?
What'd you do to him, Tom?
Sean's working out very well, he just had no cases tonight to present.
No cases.
So he chose to go home,
That's good.
Okay,
he's fine now.
yes, that's so nice of you.
Thank you for asking.
I'm just asking, because
No, he quit. He hated it.
Well, no, the real problem was, this guy Rod's house,
many wires.
he found out he can't touch it or something, and there's so
He's
many,
He's still working.
so many violations. He's
working
still,
in the neighborhood of our chairman, so, it's really scary.
he's still in there filling out all the violation forms.
That's funny. No,
Okay, if there's nothing else, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
Motion, we have a second? All those in favor? We are adjourned, thank you.
I felt like I was not. Sir?